And now we're going to talk to Julie Lynde with the Cornerstone Institute of Idaho. Julie, thanks for coming by.
Thanks so much for having me.
Tell me about your organization. Where are you based? How many people work with you? That kind of thing.
You know, Cornerstone Institute of Idaho is based in Boise, and we have one paid staff, and that's me, and I've got a marvelous board. And we consider ourselves the mouse that roared. We work with many different issues, many different politicians and churches, and we feel ourselves just very led to this work, and we're feeling very obedient and excited that God's using us.
Yeah, how long has the Institute been up there?
We've been up for 5 years. We're a bit of a restart, but we noticed that there was a big vacuum in Idaho of pro-family advocacy, and so a couple of us got together and contacted Focus and said, what can we do to be associated?
Good for you. Tell me about the issues that you deal with. What are the ones you hit over and over again? What's important in Idaho?
You know, the issues we hit over and over again are pro-life issues. And we were really working hard on the marriage amendment, which we're grateful passed not only through the legislature, but also it passed through the general public. And so we have a marriage amendment that was written by ADF, and it protects against civil unions, domestic partnerships, and defines marriage as being between a man and a woman. So we're excited about that. The pro-life issues, school choice, education issues, all the multiple issues that impact the family. This year we testified on grocery tax bills and property taxes being charged to churches. So,
why grocery taxes?
Well, in Idaho, our sales tax is also applied to our groceries. And that's something, when the sales tax went up 1%, that's something that people said, let's start looking at that and see what we can do about it. And so there were 4 proposals, and there was one that we thought was more fair to families. Families are greatly impacted by these necessities, and it's not optional to nourish your family. So we testified in support of giving families a little bit more money back on their tax return.
Tell me how you work to change the minds of lawmakers. How do you go about that? And also to change minds in other venues. How do you do that work?
You know, what's really exciting is the model set by Focus on the Family. We utilize principled persuasion, and it's all about relationships. We're there to serve. We aren't there to get credit. We don't seek out the limelight. We don't run after the press. We're there to serve. And so when we work on a piece of legislation, we want the legislator to get the credit, and we want God to get the glory and the state to get the benefit. And so we're really there in a servant capacity, and we develop relationships. And it's not just relationships that are geared towards what can you do for me and what can I do for you. It's relationships asking our constituency to pray when someone loses a relative, or someone has cancer, or someone has an issue in their life. So we try to be available for everything.
These are not easy fights to work in. What keeps you motivated? What keeps you energized?
You know, these aren't easy fights to be in, but I don't think we have an option. We need to be in these fights. God's people need to stand up and be counted. And we at Cornerstone do feel like we've been called to stand up and be counted, and so we're standing in the gap. And it doesn't matter when something's easy or if it's difficult. We're here to do the right thing. And so we diligently do that, we happily do that, and we're excited about the ability to give an intellectual reason, an intellectual answer for so many of these things that people have tried to marginalize. And ultimately our goal is to lead people to Christ. Our goal is to be an example for Christ. So we do not see ourselves as being loved more by God than the ACLU member or the Planned Parenthood member. We don't see ourselves as being any better, and we reach out and develop relationships with them as well.
Very good. Thank you, Julie.
Thank you so much.